You ever heard the phrase, once you've seen it, you can't unsee it? Well, today, you're gonna see it.
If there are two rules that you could apply for free to make your videos more cinematic, irrespective of gear, cameras, lenses, or anything else, what would they be? Well, today you're going to find out. If you're new to filmmaking, use these two rules to elevate your cinematography, video, and content. Not only am I going to show you these two techniques, but I'm also going to show you some examples from some award-winning films like Dune Part 2, Furiosa, and The Substance. So obviously these are multi-million-dollar films with multi-million-dollar budgets, but what I'll show you is that they all use the same two techniques. And if you do, then you will be aligning your productions with this level of filmmaking. So join me after the break, and let's get into it. Rule 1. Compose using the rule of thirds.
The rule of thirds is a compositional principle that suggests that an image should be imagined as divided into 9 equal parts by 2 equally spaced horizontal lines and 2 equally spaced vertical lines, making a 3x3 grid. That's a mouthful. Key compositional elements such as subjects, focal points, or horizon lines should be placed along those lines or at their intersections, called power points, to create tension, energy, or visual interest rather than just centering the subject.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Let's take a look at some examples from Dune Part 2, Furiosa, and The Substance. Rule 2. Shoot on the dark side.
Shoot on the dark side.
Shooting on the dark side is a classic cinematography technique used to add depth and dimension to your subject. It means placing the key light so that the side of the subject facing the camera falls into shadow. The shadow side is what we call the dark side. To achieve this, the light is usually positioned at an angle of more than 90 degrees but less than 270 degrees from the camera. This setup allows the subject to cast its own shadow across itself, creating a more three-dimensional and dramatic look on screen. Okay, let's have a look at an example from Dune Part 2. Alright, so as you can see from her eyes, you can see that the key light is coming in from this direction. And you can see that quite clearly, like this side of her cheek is very well lit. It's certainly brighter than the other side by several stops. The dark side is this side here. And you can see that's what helps to create that lovely 3D effect. So the camera is obviously in front, straight ahead, but then you have the main light, key light, coming in from this side. It seems to be coming from below rather than from above. And and then creating the shadow on this side of her face. So you see all in the neck and all the rest of it there, you can see the shadow being created. Looking at this image from Dune Part 2 again, you can see this side, we are on the dark side over here. So you can see the light is coming in from, it looks like it's coming in from above, but certainly from this direction. And as you can see over here as well, so you see there's the shadow on this side, shadow on this side, shadow on this side. So again, they're creating the depth and they're creating that three-dimensionality by the shadow coming in at an angle, the camera then shooting this way into the shadows. The other thing to note about this as well is they're using the technique of having light and dark in the background. So if you look here, you can see there is light here, then there's dark here, then obviously there's the subject, and then there's dark again, and then there's light, and then there's dark again. This is a classic cinematography technique. So with this one, we can see that the light is obviously coming in from this side. It appears to be from the sunlight, but I haven't looked at the behind the scenes notes, so I'm not sure if it's artificial light and if it's actually been done on a stage or not. But at any rate, the appearance is that the light is coming in from this side. And again, you have the shadow on this side. A lot of this is in shadow. And again, that's what I'm talking about. So you're having that directionality. So the camera obviously is straight on this direction, and then you have the light coming in from this direction, and the main light, the key light, and therefore it's creating shadow on this side, thereby giving you that three-dimensionality. And in this one, again, similar thing, we can see the directionality of the light, the main key light coming in from this direction and casting the shadow, and the shadows being cast on this side of the face. So this is the dark side. So again, the camera is kind of this direction and the light is coming in this direction. So again, if you look at it from a 3D point of view, the light is not coming in from the same direction as the camera. And that's how we're creating the 3D effect here again. So with this one, obviously we have the camera being behind her, behind the actress, but we have the light coming in mainly from the front. You can see, it's pretty obvious, you can see it from the shadows here. You can see it from this long shadow behind her. And what that does is create this lovely highlighted area here. And we are shooting into the dark. We're shooting to the dark side behind. So that's an example where the camera is almost like 180 degrees behind the main source of light, except it's not 180 degrees. And obviously there are other lights as well. There are probably fill lights coming in from, you know, this direction or what have you, but they'd be softer lights. And or there could be bounce that we can't see. You know, there could be some sort of bounce that they have here that's bouncing the light back onto her.
So if you've made it this far, hopefully you found value in the video, and as such, I'd love it if you could like, subscribe, comment, share in your Facebook groups and all those good things on Threads, and do all those things that make the algorithm happy. You also have the option now to do super thanks as an additional way of showing your appreciation, and that will hopefully help me to continue to grow the channel and make more interesting videos. So with all that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay lucky, stay blessed.